So the second game of round one saw Scotland get a bonus point win, 31-19 against Italy. Italy will be very disappointed. They had a good Six Nations in 2024, but they come away with nothing from this, having played well in places. And that's really the theme of this game. Scotland had a blistering start, then Italy came back, then Scotland scored a couple more brilliant tries, then Italy came back at the end but ran out of time, couldn't get over the line. Good Scottish defence at the end. So this game really had a bit of everything, and that's why I like to go through games and talk about all the talking points in the game, the themes that came up. That's the best way I like to organise it in my head. So welcome to this match review supported by Sports News Blitz. They've got some great articles on the Six Nations on their website. Do check them out. So let's get straight into this game. And Scotland start like an absolute train. They catch Italy on the hop. It's Italy's worst period for sure, and Scotland's best. In the end, it was enough to get the win. And it's amazing how Italy came back, actually. It started on 1 minute with a great strip from open side Rory Darge, and he's playing so well. I mean, he's not often talked about a lot in the media. Maybe he should be more. He's an absolute contender for the Lions. Had a brilliant game. Good quiet leadership as well. Russell, lovely long pass, frees Van der Merwe, and Scotland are mixing up the tight play, the pick and go, keeping Italy guessing, which is nice at the beginning. Sometimes they go to wide a little bit too quickly, but at the beginning they're really mixing it up. And then lovely hands having Jamie Ritchie as the first receiver, the flanker, and then Russell the pull behind out the back to Darge, and he's shoved over and slides over for the first try. It's just a perfect start. I know, 7-0 there. On 11 minutes, Nicotera has a shaky start to his line-out game, a nasty overthrow as they waste a lot of good launch opportunities in Scotland's half. In contrast, Cherry was picked for Scotland to be a great line-out thrower, and he was absolutely expert in this game, and more lovely soft pull-behind plays, holds that Italian defence perfectly, and again, it's Ritchie first receiver, Russell second, clearly rehearsed, and it's working really nicely, getting Van der Merwe in space for the second time, and he's just so dangerous with his power, with his speed. He skates wide left, all the coverage converges on him because he's so dangerous, and he just lobs it back inside for Hugh Jones's first of his hat-trick, 14-0. So in this opening 12 minutes, Scotland have simply stunned Italy. Quick scores, and Italy finally get into the game with their first nice play. It's a nice no-look pass that puts Menoncello clean through the middle, but brilliant from Ben White as he hoovers up a loose ball and hacks it clear. I think I count it's about the fourth weighted opportunity for Italy to launch. Fagerson, Darge, they're first to the ruck on another launch play before Lamaro, and that's really bad because Italy have rehearsed this play, so there's no excuse for not being first to the ruck. So they were very poor at the beginning in launching their attacks. An interesting note on Finn Russell, he's been absolutely instrumental in both tries, but also he's been doing his flicks behind the back and giving the ball away twice, and that's kind of what you just have to accept with Finn Russell. He does more good than bad normally, and he's never going to stop trying, and I think that Gregor Townsend has just stopped trying to get annoyed by that sort of thing. But just interesting to watch. Those flicks in the end didn't result in anything, but they could do, and later in the game he actually does give away one nasty one, forcing a pass. Now Italy are trying to move the ball fast, but they're really not completing anything particularly, but Johnny Gray goes offside and gives them their first points. Tommaso Allen kicked absolutely beautifully, the first one from 40 metres, so that's 14-3. And Scotland just getting predictable for the first time in the match. They go wide straight away with those pull behinds, and this time Brex is waiting. He knows they want to go wide with the pull behind, and he flies up really nicely on Darcy Graham. The idea being that Graham comes from his blind side to make an extra passer, but Brex nails him, rewarded with a penalty. That slotted nicely again, so 14-6. They're just starting to claw their way back, but the hooker Cherry pops that bubble with a perfect line out once again. Back of the maul, he breaks off, and an amazing flick out the back, Finn Russell-esque, for a try for White. So brilliant game for Dave Cherry in that first half. So that's 19-6, and it looks like Scotland are going to stretch ahead, and the theme of the half for Italy is fluffing their attacks. They do it once again, just on 35 minutes, this time Menoncello and Capuozzo misplacing a loop play, the ball's hacked on, and McDowell shunts Garbisi behind his own line for a 5-metre scrum, and it looks like Scotland are going to get their bonus point for the first time, but Matt Fagerson tries to break blind when the backs try and loop round to the left to give him space, but the scrum's wheeled, and Italy do really well. They don't fall for it, and Garbisi jackals to survive, and they actually stroke over another nice penalty through Allen at the end. So 19-9, still a decent half for Scotland. Italy just about staying in touch, and Italy were just starting to step it up at the end of that first half, and they continue that in the second half with a good spell of play. Ben White puts a nasty high pass to Matt Fagerson, who gets absolutely smashed. Fischetti and then Menoncello jackal for a fourth long-range penalty, 19-12. So they're back in touch already. And then the try they needed, and it's Finn Russell with a horror telegraph delayed pass. Brex again up fast, and they know that Russell and Scotland in general like to play that 50-50 pass and chance their arm, and it's paid off. He gobbles it up and gallops 40-50 metres, something like that, to score, and it's 19-all, and the game is back on. But one thing Scotland have is game breakers, and it really helps them out when they're in tight situations like this. Darcy Graham is one of those game breakers, and he dances out of tackles out wide. Fischetti clearly flops off his feet. It looks like an easy 3 points, but Scotland do this a lot of the time. They go for the corner. It's confident, but Fischetti gets his second jackal. Still looks like he's not supporting his weight, but he gets it, and Menoncello thumps it clear. Then Ioane pushes off Stafford McDowell. Bad missed tackle. He has a few mistakes in the second half. Van der Merwe shows he's a really improved winger, though, as drifts really nicely to close down the overlap. Good game for Van der Merwe and Graham as well on the other side. And then comes McDowell's second shocker as he just loses the ball too easily, but he's saved by a soft penalty as Cannoni gives Russell a silly late shove for no reason. Sutherland's on, he acts some good impact in the carrying, but the Italian centres are affecting another good turnover as they step up that defence once again. Matt Fagerson's getting a little bit smashed in the tackle. He's running straight, but Italy are really double teaming him. George Horn's on to try and restart the Scotland's attack as it's just finely balanced at 19-all. And then finally, with 20 minutes to go, the break in the play, Scotland spring from deep with a lovely try. Maybe the difference is Tom Jordan on as that extra passing ability as they go wide very quickly. Kinghorn to Graham, and Graham, magic feet. Has to be said, the Italian cover overdrifts once again. It's Garbisi at fault, I think, once again. He has some bad defensive reads in this game, and Graham draws and gives the final man for Jones for a run-in. Scotland enjoy this purple 5 minutes where they score another try, a fifth try. It's a brilliant team play, it has to be said. Looping play off a scrum from Russell is perfect as he runs enough and commits the defence, and then pops off at a perfect time to Graham. As Graham makes the break and the ball is swung back wide, Hugh Jones still has plenty to do, 2 or 3 players still to beat, but he does it. Garbisi again over chasing. Great finish though from Hugh Jones. He has really pushed himself ahead in that Lions selection, if you're thinking about that. So it's 31-19. That's how it finishes, but Italy finished the game right on the attack, moving the ball around with some brilliant phase play, but Scotland's defence is fantastic in that last 10 minutes, really thumping Italy back. They don't have the power to break through, so good finish from Scotland in defence. Italy will be thinking what could have been, but that's what Scotland needed, 31-19. Let me know what you thought of that game in the comments below. If you want to follow along with me for the Six Nations, do subscribe, do like the video. That would be amazing, and I'll catch you next time.